Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today's episode is entitled Letting Go, and I wanted to talk about this, and I don't really know what's going to come out of it other than my little story to start with. So I'll go back in time a little bit because it's probably helpful in terms of the story I'm going to share with you. But in 2019, I took over the running of a ladies networking event on behalf of a company called Forward Ladies. And I did that for most of 2019. But then towards the end of the year, the lady concerned who ran Forward Ladies, she decided that she didn't want to have networking be part of her business. So she handed over the networking meeting to me, and I renamed it as the Female Business Collective, and we had our first meeting in January 2020. Now you can imagine how that went. Well, it went beautifully. We had 2 monthly meetings. We had a January one and a February one, and then of course we couldn't do it anymore. Now, when that first happened, I thought, oh, well, I'll just stop doing it. But then I noticed that there were people doing online networking events using Zoom. And I thought, right, well, what the heck, let's give it a go. So for the whole of 2020, I ran a meeting online weekly for ladies in business. And I didn't charge anything. And then kind of knew this was going to happen. And then when it got to 2021 and there's still a lot of online networking, not much physical, I then started to charge a small fee. Now throughout the first year, I asked for donations to a lovely charity called SmartWorks, who provide outfits and CVs and interview coaching for ladies who are trying to get back into work. And in the second year, I gave a donation from each ticket that I sold. I only charged a £5, I think. I can't remember. Now, of course, this year, there has been this ability to move back more into physical networking. And so in May, I held a meeting. In June, I tried to hold a meeting, but didn't get enough uptake. I suspect I kind of clashed with the school holiday. And some other networking meetings. And then I managed to do a meeting in July, and my next meeting was supposed to be tomorrow, Thursday. And it's not happening because I didn't have enough people booked on. And so I've taken the decision to not just cancel the meeting that would have been doing tomorrow, but to not do it anymore. Now, it's really interesting, and that's my little story. But the most important thing about that is that for a long time, I've kind of known in here, in my heart or my gut, that it was time to let go, to stop doing it. And I didn't listen. So I carried on kind of pushing and trying to get people there and forcing it. But the energy that I was coming at that with wasn't quite right, because my gut was saying it's time to stop doing this. Your heart's not in it, and it's time to stop. But how often do we do that, where our body, our whole kind of, our gut instinct, our intuition is saying it's time to do something or not to do something, and we don't listen to it. I'd lost quite a lot of sleep over it. not like dramatically lying there every night, but I would often wake up in the run up to each meeting. I'd wake up and remember things I needed to do, and there was a lot of chasing up required to get people to who said they were coming on an event on LinkedIn, for example, and then didn't buy their tickets. So there was a lot to do, and it did keep popping into my mind. It was like having a little friend tapping me on the shoulder a lot and saying, "Oh, you've forgotten to do this, you can't do that." And my head just does feel a lot clearer now, having let it go. So where I'm pointing to today is that sometimes it is time to stop doing something, or maybe it's time to start doing something. How do you know what to do and what not to do? Well, your body tells you. You know, if it feels like there's something pulling you in a particular direction, and then your thinking comes in and says, "Oh no, you need to keep trying, or you need to keep doing it." Like for me, letting go of this event, I've been guided lots to let it go, to stop doing it, but I just didn't listen. I didn't listen to that voice in my head that was saying, it's time. It's time to stop. It's time to let go. It's time to do something else. And who knows what that will be, but I feel like there's just a little bit more space now in my head, because there isn't this month. Because when you're running a monthly event, it keeps coming up over and over again. As soon as you've finished one, you're on to organising the next one, and it's never ending. And the love of the ladies I used to spend time with is still there, but there's not the love of wanting to continue doing it. And so, like, there's something else here as well about, as I started to fall out of love with it, the numbers dropped. So when I was inviting people to come into my space, to come into this event, to buy tickets for this event, my heart, the energy from which I was putting that out into the world was just off. Even if it was just a little bit off, it wasn't connecting to people because I wasn't super excited about it. I wasn't super enthused about it. I wasn't coming from this place of passion, and the drive for it just wasn't there. So life, our system, leaves us clues. It's really, really clever like that. And the clues will be in the feeling state. If it feels sort of frictiony and off and out of kilter, then there's something to explore there. There's something to look at. Because my whole body was saying it's time to stop. It's time to give it up. And yet my head kept going, no, 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 you need to keep going, keep going. I think there was something about, I made a little bit of money from it, or, the not letting down the ladies, and the money wasn't the first thing. So I don't know why I said that first, but not letting people down, and not being there anymore. And I suspect a little bit of some thinking around failure, and not being good enough if I let it go, not being clever enough to run a networking event or whatever. So if there's something in your life that is ready to go, your gut will tell you whether it's time or not. And listen to it. And if you've got a bit of what if thinking, or a bit of should thinking, or a bit of meaning making, that's a corker, isn't it? Like, if I give up this thing, if I let go of this thing, it means I'm a bit rubbish, it means I'm not good enough, it means I'm not doing well enough, or whatever it is. Like, don't listen to that, because that isn't the truth. That's just an annoying voice that's lived in your head for a very long time that likes to tell you you're a bit rubbish. Excuse me. I tell you that you're an imposter, or tell you that you're a bit, you're just not good enough in some way. That's not really the truth. So, yeah, that's my little tearful talk about about letting go. But yeah, the final thing is that actually when you let go of something, a space opens up. Like, I feel I've got a bit of thinking about it today, but I can feel that I'm letting go of that, and that I'm moving through that. Let that just sort itself out. There's nothing to do, but I can feel like there's some space opening up. So it's going to be okay, and well, it is okay already, and the letting go is fine. And there's something else that will emerge now from that space, because it does feel more spacious in my head, and feels more like there's a capacity for creativity to come through now that I've let go of that thing. So letting go, folks, it is easier said than done, but sometimes it is just the right thing. So sending lots of love. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.